Now, yesterday was a very important day in our country as Finance Minister Pravin Gordhan laid out the much-anticipated 2014 budget. And of course, with it being the 20th anniversary of our democracy, it was a very good litmus test to see how far the country had come. But of course, the answer to that question isn't as simple as just that. And for that reason, we have Mr. Kashif Wicomb, the Chief Executive at Merdeka Power, to kind of decipher the numbers, talk money. You ready to talk money, sir?
Yes, you are indeed.
Yeah. Firstly, should we be smiling after what we heard yesterday
I think indeed we must be. It's a very balanced budget, a balanced increasing expenditure to benefit the country and our taxpayers, but also balancing that against providing tax relief to the individuals. So certainly a very well-balanced budget. You spoke about 1994. In 1994, our tax income was sitting at 114 billion rand. This year, sitting at 899 billion rand. They're forecasting by 2014, 2015, we'll be sitting at 1 trillion rand worth of revenue coming into the country. And that's of a tax base of 15 million registered taxpayers.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the economy in the world is still experiencing quite a lot of difficulty. You look at Europe and the global markets that are still struggling to find their way. But how is South Africa doing in terms of our GDP growth? Are we stabilizing it?
We are indeed. In fact, they're forecasting GDP to be at 2.5% in 2015, 2016, I think. If you look at our budget deficit, which means the money we're getting in versus the money we're spending, we were at a deficit of 4%. In other words, a shortfall of 4%, which is significantly better than most other countries.
That's very, very okay. Yeah. Something to smile about. I think something that a lot of people weren't smiling about, but the minister made a joke about it. Syntaxes.
We know, always on an increase.
How are those looking right now?
Pack of cigarettes, 68 cents increase per pack. Tobacco, 87 cents per 50 grams.
For your health, yeah.
Spirits, which is your whiskies, 4.76 per 750 ml, which I think is the biggest increase. Fortified and unfortified wines, 27 and 13 cents respectively. And also fuel increase. Taking into account the current increase in fuel prices due to the exchange rate and the price of Brent crude oil, fuel has increased by 20 cents, which is 12 cents for 12 cents a levy for fuel, and then another 8 cents for the road accident fund levy.
Yeah, and that, of course, the fuel levy applicable from the 2nd of April, but the minister did say that all other sin taxes are immediately, so you can't go outside and grab a last shot. Yeah. Now, the tax relief to taxpayers out there, how does that measure out this year? Because as you said, we've managed to increase our spending. We were able to get in more money, but not exactly as a burden to the taxpayer. What are we looking at?
Again, taking into account the current situation we're finding ourselves in financially, 9.3 billion rand tax relief, so we had no increase in taxes. Most of the 9.3 billion is for persons earning less than 250,000 rand per annum, which it is said is 69% of the taxpayer base. So that's where the personal tax relief comes in. Also for those who are on social welfare, remembering South Africa's got about 6.9 million people on social welfare, which is a good thing and a bad thing. Pension has increased by 6.3% from 2012 to 2013. That's up 80 rand per month, or 1,060 rand per annum. So now pensions will be receiving 1,350 rand per month. Childcare grants up 20 rand to 320 rand per month, which is effective in October. Yeah.
Quite a big talking point when you mentioned pensions was retirement funds and how those would be greatly increased in terms of the taxability, right?
Yes. Government is encouraging us to save towards our golden years. So now last year it was the first 315,000 rand was tax-free. That's increased to 500,000 rand. So the first 500k that you receive as a tax-free, you'll still receive as a tax-free lump sum.
So saving is a very good thing for your future. Young people out there, as soon as you start earning money, save up for that retirement fund. Last but not least, as a foreign investor, do you think global investors are looking at the budget speech and looking at where our country's going financially and thinking, yes, it's worth a country investing in?
I think definitely. Remember that we position South Africa as the gateway into Africa.
Yeah.
Currently, we are trading about 36 billion rands worth of trade into Africa. About 29% of our exports are going to Africa. But also don't forget the tax incentives that are in there. Manufacturing development incentives, 10.3 billion. Upgrade of machinery, 15.2 billion. We've got the special economic zones happening, so all good.
Fantastic. Kashif, thank you very much. Kashif Wicomb, the Chief Executive of Merdeka Power, deciphering yesterday's budget speech of 2014 delivered by Finance Minister Pravin Gordhan. Hopefully it helped you make some sense of it, but as he said, things are looking on the bright side. South Africa, we are moving forward.